Hello. This was not a video I was expecting to make today. So Nintendo Direct, one of the, I don't want to say it was the most underwhelming ones, but it was one of those ones where you watch it and you're like, okay, man. Like, okay, man. But then Mr. Toby of Fox fame, he shows up and he makes the Direct instantly better. So we're going to talk about Deltarune Chapter 5, the trailer, and we're going to read the newsletter. Now, I've seen this trailer already. I've not read the newsletter yet. I do want to break down a couple things in this trailer and just talk about them. It's not a lot to talk about, but the stuff that there is to talk about, it needs to be talked about. Like, it needs to be talked about. So we're gonna watch the trailer in full first, and I'm not gonna say anything. And then we're gonna go back and we're gonna analyze it. Alright, here we go. So that's that. And my god. When I saw this, I was like, I don't know, fucking Pikmin or some shit, plant game, I don't know. And then Mr. Toby the Fox just pops out and like, oh, my day is instantly better now. um, like all my depression has gone away now because we have Deltarune news. God damn it! I want it. Okay, never mind. No, you know what? I want is the guy that I want to know if the guy that plays Toby is Toby. Like the suit guy, suit Toby, suited Toby. It sounds like a fucking FNAF bootleg animatronic or some shit. Suited Toby. Is Suited Toby the same guy all the time, or is it Toby, or what's going on? Anyways, Deltarune Chapter 5. Now, this is very interesting because I feel like everyone's design for the new chapter. Everyone's design, like, we knew it was going to be flower based because of course it was. It was a flower kingdom and shit. None of us, I don't think, were expecting this, right? This Chinese, Japanese, like, excuse me, I forget, I'm gonna feel like an asshole and like a chud. Never say chud again. Okay, I won't. I'm gonna feel like an asshole for not knowing what culture this architecture is from. I want to say it's Chinese. Um, but yeah. So yeah, I don't think anyone was expecting this, right? But I knew because like all of the predictions for it, it was like, oh, it's gonna be a field of yellow and pink flowers, no subtlety whatsoever. It's gonna be pink and yellow flowers all the way. Like, no, come on, let's be real. This is Toby Fox. Everyone thought Tenna was gonna just be a 2D sprite of a TV guy, with a smile. No one was expecting Toby Fox to be 3D rendered, like rotoscoped man that Tenna is. So let's go uh, frame by frame of this. New adventures are blooming, right? Blooming. We're gonna see lots of trees. I can't think of the damn name of the, I want to say it's like something rose tree or something. I can't think of the name of it, and it's gonna piss me off because I look stupid now. But like the beautiful trees that are like, oh, they're in season, you have to go over and see them. I'm gonna feel like a penis because I can't think of it. Um, but so we got flower-based attacks as to be expected. This is interesting because they kind of sort of, and maybe I'm thinking wrong, but they kind of sort of look like um those guys from the first chapter, the chess pieces that were holding the staff or whatever. I think it was the pawns that was, I don't know, but the first chapter, I can't think of it off the top of my head. But those guys from the first chapter, I want to say like they were part of the chess piece board thing, and they were just holding like big staffs or something. They sort of give me that vibe, but of course now they're flowerized. Their attacks here seem to be like this is the circle where all of the petals are going to come out of, and it's warning you, and then it shoots all of them out of there. Um, so that is an interesting enemy. Standard enemy. And then, come on, we'll get there. Come on, here we are. This is interesting. This is very interesting. We've got Mario's fuck ass head is blocking it. How do I hide Mario? But we've got Super Saiyan Newbert, right? We've got Trashy, and then I don't know if this pink ball has ever had a name. I don't think it has. Um, I can't remember if it did have a name or not, but I know that this is from a previous chapter. But we've got Super Saiyan Newbert, we've got Trashy, and we've got, you know who this ball looks like? It looks like the ball from Link to the Past. There's when you first go to the Dark World, there's this like bully monster creature, and then there's just a pink ball that he's kicking around, and then you talk to the pink ball, and it's like, oh wait, that's a guy. That's not just a ball. That's a guy. That's what this character looks like. But this, to me, how do I, let me, this to me is going to be not a fight that we see in the Dark World. This is very clearly going to be, well, in a Dark World, yes, but it's going to be the hub area, the hub Dark World, the castle town. This has to be a castle town fight. And what I'm thinking is like maybe it's gonna be sort of like how you remember chapter 1, there was those puzzle guys, and then you bring them back to Castletown, and then chapter 2 they had, a couple more boss fights or something like that. This is sort of what I'm getting from that, those vibes. This is gonna be a chapter excuse me. This is gonna be a Castletown sort of tutorial fight, sort of, but not really. It's just going to be something extra to do for fun, I think. I don't see this appearing in the actual Dark World in Chapter 5. Because if it does, I can't really think of where it would even appear at. How it would fit with the themes at all. We've got blue, pink, and yellow. Blue for Chris, pink for... Or maybe that's... No, that's... it's a very, very light green. It is. It's a very light green. Very light green. But it's Chris, Susie, and Rousey, obviously. Blue, pink, and yellow. And then here, it's just showcasing all of the older chapters. And then this is where the meat and potatoes of the trailer is. This is interesting. I mean, it's all interesting, but this is where we get to the good stuff. So this is a character that appears to be made out of clay pots, right? Just potted clay and clayed pots. And we can expect to see a lot of plant-based characters in this chapter. There is a watering can there that it looks like the soul might be holding. I can't tell. So I'm guessing the way you're going to have to defeat this probably mini boss, almost definitely mini boss, is to like water all of the plants. I'm guessing. I'm guessing. And then to probably not let these guys hit the plants or something like that. Oh yes, the soul is definitely holding that watering can. So you're going to have to water these plants, and then it looks like once you do that, the clay guy, he has tree coming out of his head now. So this is what we're seeing right here is going to be the end screen, the clear like this is what happens when you beat this guy. You get like a nice serene looking tree flower thing. Cherry blossoms. Is that it? Is that what they're called? Cherry blossoms. Yeah. This is going to be the end of the fight right here. You're going to have to water all of these plants to defeat this, I'm guessing, mini boss. The enemy bloomed. The enemy bloomed. How beautiful. How beautiful. Just gonna guess a name for this guy. If I had to guess a name for this guy, it's gonna be like, because he does puns. Toby does puns, so it's gonna be some kind of clay pun, like like maybe terracotta, but like some kind of like terabata. I don't know. Fuck, that's my guess. It's gonna be some kind of pun because he does that. Toby the Fox, he's a pun-loving guy, and I can respect that. Here, though, come on, frame by frame. This is what looks to be a feather, I believe, and our characters are going after that feather, which is interesting because I'm like, why? What does that mean? Is the feather from a creature or from an animal, or is it like representative of, so like maybe not a save point, like an item? I don't think this is an item. I think this is like, oh god, we gotta talk about that. We gotta talk about that. Okay, so this area right here looks sort of like not final boss area type shit, but like maybe this is like final boss area type shit. I don't know. Possibly, you never know. But why a feather? That's what I want. Maybe, and this is off the wall bullshit theorizing here because it could be totally wrong. Birdly question mark? But I don't think so. I don't think so. I don't think we're gonna see Birdly probably in any other Dark Worlds ever. But the feather, though, is interesting. But we need to talk. This whole area is interesting. We haven't seen Asgore yet. And you know what? Here's my prediction. And I meant to say this a little while ago. My prediction to you right now, we are not going to see Asgore in the Dark World in Chapter 5. Because just think about that. Like, remember we were all thinking that we were gonna see Toriel in the Dark World, and Toriel would be fighting alongside us, and so happy, and like Toriel would be our new ally in the Dark World, right? Think about that in terms of the story. It wouldn't make sense. In terms of the story, it wouldn't make sense unless, because there's the theorizing that Toriel already knows about Dark Worlds and all that, and that's a whole different story. But it wouldn't make sense to have Toriel be an ally, a partner to you in the Dark World in any way, because then you have to go the rest of the chapters, and then your mom, your parental figure, is just like, bye honey, go off into this mysterious crazy world where you can die probably and never come back, and I'll never see you again. Bye bye, see you later, bye. That doesn't make sense. That doesn't make sense. So of course Toriel wasn't, in the Dark World in a significant sense like that. And that's going to be the same thing with Asgore, because Asgore's whole thing, now his whole thing is that he wants to figure out what really happened to Des, and he wants to prove everyone wrong and show like, hey, I was right. There's some other crazy shit going on. So like, pay attention to me. That's his whole deal. But it doesn't make sense, if that's his whole deal, it doesn't make sense for him to find all of this in the same chapter that we're in when we've got 2 more chapters left to go. Maybe 1 more chapter. That's a whole nother story for another day. Different theorizing time. Right? So it doesn't make sense for Asgore to be in the dark world. Maybe I will say, maybe he'll find it either near the end or like something like that. Maybe like we'll be following him. Maybe he does find it. Maybe we're following him and we're trying to chase after him, but he's always just out of our reach. And he's exploring the dark world first. He explored it before us, and he's always just out of our reach. But he's not going to be... I don't know why people think that Asgore is going to be a boss in this. People genuinely believe that we're going to be fighting Asgore. That doesn't make sense. That doesn't make any sense. Now, I say no doubt we're going to have Asgore representation in this. There's going to be imagery. There's going to be things that are important to Asgore in his life and in his searching of finding Des. That's going to be in this, but I don't think Asgore as a character is going to be in this fully. I just don't see it, because it wouldn't really make sense. But now, we gotta fucking talk about this. Because I didn't realize it the first time I watched it. I saw someone comment about it, and that's when I realized it. This attack that we're looking at right here is an Omega Flowey attack. This is just directly an attack from Omega Flowey. It just directly Omega Flowey attack. Now people are saying, oh well, it's the blue soul or whatever. It's this soul. It's whatever, the purity soul, or I don't know. The J.O. crystal, I don't know. People are saying it's that, but no. Souls in this, the only soul that matters is ours in this game, and our existence in it, right? Our existence in this whole thing. So we're not going to get some Undertale Yellow backstory in Chapter 5 of a different soul. No. This is Omega Flowey. This is a direct reference to Omega Flowey. Now, give me a second. Take a drink of water. I will say, having it be the sword attack is interesting, because we know of another sword in this game that's very important, or sword, knife, whatever you want to call it, black knife, right? The Roaring Knight, he has the big long sword slash bat slash whatever, right? But it looks like a knife. And then we have the katana. We have all this representation of knives. So Chris has a knife. All this representation, knives, swords, katanas, whatever. And then we have this attack, which is an Omega Flowey attack, but it's also a blade. So that's interesting. Maybe we'll get all of the Omega Flowey attacks, but I don't think so. I think this might be the only attack that is going to be referenced from Omega Flowey. But there is going to be probably some other Flowey references. Now, here's the thing. Flowey is not going to be in this game unless he's doing something like totally off the wall bonkers, right? But Flowey cannot be in this game, because Flowey came into existence because Flowey is a combination of both Kara and Azrael's soul melded into one, into this flower creature, right? That's Flowey. That's first of all, Kara doesn't exist in this universe, and I'm going to confidently say that. I'm going to so confidently say that. Kara just doesn't exist in this universe. Um, but second of all, we don't know what the deal is with Azrael. I don't fucking. My prediction is we're never gonna see Azrael in this, like, depicted as maybe as, a silhouette or a shadow or something. We're not gonna see him. And I know I've been saying a lot, well, we're not gonna see this, we're not gonna see that, he's not gonna do this. But the reason I keep saying that is because just, imagine, right? Remember when chapter 1 came out? And chapter 1, and he said there's going to be 7 chapters, and chapter 1 came out and it ends with, Chris pulling out his heart and throwing it in the cage and whatever. And then chapter 2, people were theorizing, like, and then he's going to wake up and he's going to be evil and he's going to kill Toriel and he's going to, what? No, it wouldn't make sense. This is a 7 chapter story. It wouldn't make sense. And he's got red eyes, so he must be Kara. And then you know what I mean? That era of theorizing and doing stuff where it was a tons of fan stuff, right? It's like, oh yeah, Chris definitely just, he's evil now, and 6 chapters left to go, and he's going to be evil now, right? It doesn't make sense. It doesn't make sense. Same deal here. I don't know that we're gonna see Azrael because it's building and building and building and building to be this big thing. But the fact that it's building so much also leaves the perfect opportunity to be the sort of twist, I guess, that maybe Azrael's dead, maybe Azrael's the knight, maybe Azrael, question mark, question mark, question mark. It could be a ton of things. But the same deal, like, here's a perfect example. I don't think we're going to see Papyrus in this, and I'm confident in that, and not, like, I'm not as confident in the Azrael thing. We might see Azrael in this. I don't think we're ever going to see Papyrus in this. The Papyrus thing in chapter 1 was something that I think Toby was like, yeah, I could do that. I can do that. Chapter 2, let's have Papyrus. But then he rethought about it and he was like, no, it wouldn't make sense. Like, or whatever he's doing with it. Papyrus Knight, no, I will not take that theory. There is no such thing as Papyrus Knight. However, yeah, because we're not going to see Papyrus. Papyrus, the whole building up to Papyrus and seeing, but it's going to be a joke. It's going to be, the payoff is going to be a joke. And Sans is going to be like, oh, by the way, it's chapter 7 now. Did you want to hang out with my little brother? Come with me and enter this room. And then it's going to be like a basketball with a face drawn on it. And he's like, this is my little brother. Bally McBallface. Yeah. Ta-da! You know what I mean? Like, Toby Fox. That's a stupid... but you know what I mean. Like, it's gonna be a joke. Because that's just... To me, that's just the way I think Toby operates. And I'm fine with that. But also, it makes theorizing hard because so many things that you want to say, like, this has to be true, I'm constantly blocking them out because, no, I don't think he would do that. So yeah. Anyways, back on topic. Azrael, I don't know what role he plays in this story, but I can tell you one thing: we're not gonna see Flowey. We're not gonna see Flowey in this chapter. We're going to see, just like I said with Asgore, we're going to see plenty of Flowey imagery and shit like that, but not Flowey directly, because it wouldn't make sense. But this is a Flowey attack, an Omega Flowey attack specifically, and Chris is alone in this scene. So it makes perfect sense to me to say that whatever this is, it's we don't see anything on the right here where there would usually be an enemy. We don't see anything there. So either that's censored out, or more likely, like this is leading to, like, you remember chapter 2, there was the when you were going to Spampton, there was the carousel and it was, you had to avoid it. Maybe this is like on the way to a secret boss or something, or maybe the secret boss is friend inside me, Mr. Smile.ogg or whatever, which would make sense why you don't see the enemy, because it's hiding in the shadow. So that's probably, I don't know what the fuck friend is. I can't theorize for shit about friend because I have no clue what his deal is. I've been trying so hard, I got no idea. So maybe this is a friend boss fight. I don't know. But this is totally a secret boss fight, right? 100%. Um, anyways, we're going down a big vine here, Jack and the Beanstalk type shit, possibly. It looks like we're sliding down, actually. So this might be another scenario where we start off the Dark World and then we're sliding down stuff, which is weird that that's happened so many times, but that's probably what's going to be going on. Here, if this is a cutscene in-game, then they're clearly chasing after something, so maybe my idea about they're chasing after Asgore, but he's always just one step ahead, that might be the case, after all. But they're like in this swamp area. It's heavily plant-themed adventure, right? Heavily plant-themed adventure. Um, I just want to see if there's like a patch of white fur, at the very right of the screen on the last frame. There's like a patch of white fur, and it's real. No, we're gonna fade out. But yeah, so that's pretty much all there is to say about that. Chapter 5. Why did I say 3? Chapter 5 is gonna be interesting. And you notice, by the way, I said there's gonna be there's gonna be flowery imagery. You see at the bottom here, there's a flower and some big petals, and it's giving off flowery vibes. uh, Deltarune fans, when they see a flower in the wild. Yo, is that flowy? Yeah. So this is gonna be just a fucking wild ride, man. Seriously. And a free update, by the way, too. Nobody that because I was watching the live Nintendo Direct. I was watching someone else watch it. No one was like psyched up about it being free. Did he say that it was going to be free somewhere and I didn't hear that, or cuz I feel like I remember him saying like, okay, you're going to buy the game and then the other chapters are going to be like I don't know. No, 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 no. No. Right. Okay. Yeah, it's a free update to okay, I feel stupid now. I feel very dumb. It's a free update if you've bought the game already. Duh. I'm stupid. Okay, and that's what that is. Excuse me. This. I'm so hyped up for this chapter, man. But anyways, enough of that. We've dissected the trailer much longer than I thought we were going to, and I'm so sorry. I did not expect this video to run that long. What is this? Oh, yeah. My Blue Yeti microphone was cutting out. That was fun. I had to do some troubleshooting before I filmed this. Um, so that was fun. A brand new mic just a couple months ago. Anyways, so Deltarune Chapter 5 release date announcement newsletter. And what do we see here? We see Flowey McFlowerson. That's his new name. Which in the thing here, it's just named Flower. It's just named Flower. I'm tempted to want to like inspect the code. No, but it's just flowy. It's like it's flowy imagery, right? It's the flowy imagery that we all know and love, but, flower. Deltarune Chapter 5 release date announcement newsletter. Sorry to keep you waiting. Deltarune Chapter 5 will launch simultaneously worldwide on all platforms on June 24th at 11 a.m. EDT. I don't remember what Eastern Deltarune time. That's what it stands for. But I looked it up, and that is 10 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, which is like right around when I stream. So you had better fucking believe that I immediately called off work. Yeah, I called off work, and we're going to be playing Deltarune the second it drops, and I'm going to be streaming it. Mark my fucking words, man. It's gonna happen. So June 24th, 10 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, unless you want to play the game for yourself. If you want to play the game for yourself and you would rather, if you would rather do that before you watch a dickhead like me play it, then that's totally fair. But 10 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, be there or be square, because we're going to be playing that shit. June 24th. Man. Here's the announcement trailer if you missed it, blah, 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 so on and so forth. I want to surprise people playing the chapter for the first time, so I avoided showing the most exciting moments, which is the opposite of what you should do in a trailer. I could totally be wrong. I could totally be wrong. There could just straight up be Asgore in this. There could just straight up be Asgore. By the way, the trailer was made by Everdread. The trailer music was performed and arranged by Carlos Insane in the Rain Ain. And the end art was by Temmie. We love Temmie. What kind of hold on. Key art. I didn't expect that to have anything secret in it. I just you have to do this sometimes because Toby he do this. What kind of chapter is chapter 5? In chapter 4, we saw dark clouds on the horizon. That's why let's not look there for now. Let's turn around and watch the sun before it goes down completely. Oh, fucking boy. Let's turn around and watch the sun before it goes down completely. We all know that the roaring is going to happen, right? Let's smile again. Let's smile again. Let's have one more fun adventure, okay? God, Chapter 6 is gonna be hell. Chapter 6 is gonna be hell. Whatever is happening, people are going to die. There's gonna be chaos. I know I'm saying exactly what I said, like, you should not theorize like this, but, like, chapter 6, that's 1 before 7, okay? I can theorize that there's gonna be hell in chapter 6. Oh, man, especially when he's saying, let's turn around and watch the sun before it goes down completely. Let's have one more fun adventure. Dude, it's gonna be fucking... I'm scared, man. I don't want this to be over, but also, like, man. And he says, in my opinion, it fits well in the overall story of the game. So whatever is gonna happen here is gonna be very lore relevant, and it fits well in the overall story of the game. So this is a big chapter. It's gonna be very big and important. I can tell. Like this is gonna be the holy shit chapter. And chapter 4 to me, it was the holy shit chapter, the holy shit look at lore chapter. But you have to understand, playing chapter 4 after playing chapter 3, which is the order that is to be played in, but playing that after playing chapter 3 right? It's very different. Because chapter 3 is a totally different chapter in tone, in gameplay, and everything is different, right? And I think chapter 4 is still a good chapter. Don't get me wrong. In my opinion, it's one of the weaker ones, but I don't hate it. I'm not going to say I hate it, right? I fucking love Deltarune and everything to do with it. And it was definitely an important chapter, and this chapter looks to be the same. It's going to be an important chapter to this story. But anyways, chapter 6, progress update. Chapter 6 is developing well. Cutscenes, NPC interactions, making good progress. Overworld gameplay. We've created all the basic gimmicks of the chapter. Gimmick equals climbing, puzzles, etc. Now we need to create a few more rooms utilizing these gimmicks. Normal enemies and bullets, mostly complete. Boss and bullets. We are working on the bullets of the last battle of the chapter. This chapter is easier to make than the others, so the development is going quite fast. This chapter is easier to make than the others, so the development is going quite fast. This sounds crazy, but it's not unrealistic that some staff members may start working on Chapter 7 before the end of the year. Wow. So I want to talk about that, because I'm a firm believer that chapter 6 is going to be the last chapter of the story, and chapter 7 is going to be something fucking else, right? I don't know what. But like, because Gerson, he says there was only 6 chapters after that, like nothing else was written. So to me, one of two things. Number one, Toby's ending his dream that he had for an ending of a game, that's going to be chapter 6, right? But chapter 7 is going to be, I don't know how. Gaster shit. It's going to be Gaster shit. Chapter 7 here's what I'll say. Chapter 7 to me is like, you know how in Undertale, once you find Kara, you could just sit on the screen for like 10 minutes or something, and then Kara's like, hey, you want your soul back? And then it's like, well, you chose to do this, like, why, that whole thing, right? Where the game, Kara already killed you, the game is technically over, but there's still more for you there. That is the kind of vibes I'm gonna get from chapter 7. And I know you're saying, well, what the fuck, that's so you're saying it's gonna be what, 5 minutes of content? No, I'm not saying that, but it's gonna be, it's not going to be like, I don't know how to describe it, but chapter 7 is gonna be Gaster shit. Maybe not, fully direct Gaster shit. I'm one of the people that personally believe we're not going to have a direct Gaster boss fight for all the same reasons that we've discussed in this video. Like, that, to me, number one, it doesn't feel like how Toby would operate, and number two, having a direct Gaster boss fight, doesn't that like kind of undervalue the main story that we're trying to tell here, and the main like, because Deltarune, it has a message, it has a story, it has themes, and it has important, a message, and if you have a Gaster boss fight, doesn't that kind of undervalue all that, right? So I don't think there's going to be a Gaster boss fight, but there is going to be Gaster shit in chapter 7, and probably chapter 6 and probably chapter 5. But chapter 7 is going to be an entirely different chapter from the past 6. I don't know what's going to happen. It's just, but in tone, in gameplay, in every single aspect, it's going to be different. I don't know how, but it is. That's my theory. Wow, this has been running so long. I apologize so. Is anyone watching this still? Um, merchandise. Fangamer, of course, has created some incredible new things because they're just Fangamer is amazing. Fangamer also with merch that is newer and bluer than any before. Click for more if you cared. Yeah, sure, Toby. I care. Sure, Toby. Why not? Alnina, yeah, it's what you expect. Tenna! Oh my god, it's him! It's the guy! Anyways, conclusion. And there we have Flower again. I just have to check. Flowey. There he is. It's fucking him. The flowy imagery, not Flowey, not him. I want it to be him because my like 2014 fanboy, Undertale fanboy, whatever. Inside he's like, that's Flowey, bro. But I'm a grown man now. I have a job. I've got responsibilities. I have to acknowledge that that's not Flowey. That's just Flowey imagery. It's just Flowey imagery. Sorry to keep you waiting, but we still have to wait a little bit. Now, I want to talk. That Deltarune is waiting thing. I don't like. It's a great tagline, but what else is it? What does it mean? You know, especially when you have Gaster saying it. When you have Gaster saying Deltarune is right, like, what does it mean? It's a lot. And I do think that the Gaster in, this Deltarune, very, very seeming much to me to be a Toby Fox, uh, what's the word? Self-insert, but not like in a negative way. Like, Gaster created all of this. Well, Toby Fox, guess what? He also created all this. And, came from a dream that Toby Fox had, right? So you're gonna have some merging between Gaster and Toby Fox, and I think that's sort of what they're doing. So chapter 7, the Gaster shit that's there, and I do think in chapter 7 it's gonna be very directly talking to you, like sort of like how at the beginning of the game, the test and the end of chapter 4, it's going to be more of the direct talking to the player thing. But also, I feel like it's going to be more Toby Fox talking to you. Because Gaster and Toby Fox, I do think they've merged in Deltarune to be the same character, essentially, if that makes any sense. There's a lot to talk about. There's a lot that we could talk about and theorize about, and we will. Oh, don't you worry, we will. Uh, we absolutely will. But we have to wait until June 24th, 2026, 10 a.m. Eastern Standard Time to do so, and I hope that I'll see you all there. I'll be there, and I'll be waiting for you. This streamer is waiting for you to watch his streams. Anyways, that was my analysis. I hope I didn't bore you too much. I'm sorry this is going on for 45 minutes. I hope you found some entertainment in this, and I hope you're excited as I am for this chapter. Please tell me what you think of this trailer in the comments. Tell me any theories you have. I would genuinely love to hear any thoughts or theories that you have for this upcoming chapter. Did you agree with anything I said? Did you disagree with anything I said? Let me know, because I want to have it. I love the theory building discussion. I love that stuff. So tell me what you think. And thank you, if you made it this far, so much for watching. I'll see you June 24th that we could play this shit, alright? The second it comes out, I'm gonna be there. I hope to see you there. Have a good day, have a good night, wherever you are. Have a good life. Deltarune is waiting. Goodbye.